Hi, welcome back to the cheat code. So this is a reading that has been really long overdue for me. And the reason why it's been long overdue for me is because I have been, as I mentioned, I've been really terrorized with the spiritual attacks. And I was even trying to do some readings on the missing 14-year-old girl, Esther. And the whatever spirits are around me were basically like football tackling me. The fact that I continue to do that reading, it's just like I feel like I'm in a battle of good and evil. There's some energies that are connected to me that really want me to delve into the dark, deep-seated underbelly of things, and it's been very disturbing for me, wanting me to watch things like Menendez Brothers that has a lot of graphic scenes in it, things about Ed Gein, all kinds of just lewd, lascivious, perverted, disgusting everything. And I made the mistake of agreeing to do certain readings, and I'm just gonna clear out all the readings that I have to do. And once I'm done those readings, I am not going to commit to any other readings. I didn't want to do celebrity readings. I didn't want to do missing persons readings. It doesn't matter if I have gifts. That's irrelevant. There's so many people in the world who have them. But as I mentioned, with the spiritual attacks that I'm going through, I have not been able to, really just get a hold of what's what and who's who. And I don't feel like I'm helping anybody with this reading, which is really what my intentions are. And this is just raw, uncut of what's going on. So you're going to get a little bit of what's been happening with me, as well as you're going to get some of just what I've had to deal with. Now, they want me to do this reading on someone named Clavicular. Every time I go to my refrigerator, I keep hearing clavicular. I go to the washroom, I keep hearing clavicular. Something happens, I trip and fall over my own slippers that there's nothing for me to trip over. I don't know how they manipulate gravity or manipulate energy around me to make me trip into things and bump into things and bang things. And then they will project on me that the reason why I'm hurting you is because you're not doing the clavicular reading. So apparently this is a kid that I've never heard of before. The information I know about him is that he overdosed, and there was a, a YouTube channel that goes by Hello Yassine that was talking about this and showed it. Never heard of this person before. I've heard of him since then. Apparently, he does something called bone smashing. He's into something called Looksmaxxing. Some pictures that I saw of him in the past from when he was younger, he looked like someone, little chubby faced, acne, might have been made fun of as a kid. It might have been what was the catalyst to him being the way that he is now. Because from my understanding, I think he's like 18, 19, 20. He's still very young. So, yeah. I think that whatever spirit is trying to haunt me, I have not been able to sleep at all. Aside from everything else going on, this is another one of these things that's just like, you promised you do the reading. I help. If you're listening to this and you knew how to manage these spirits, like help me. So, yeah, basically the first thing that the images that they were projecting onto me, I made some notes. I can't even be bothered to go over. It's like 30 minutes or plus of notes, and I am exhausted. Like my brain is like fried. I haven't been able to sleep. Every time I doze off, this thing wakes me back up again, and it's like I can't. So I'm just gonna go by memory. What I remember is that one of the images that was projected on me, I'm just going to list the people that were kind of correlated to this individual. There was, again, Menendez brothers, what's his name? Andrew Cunanan, the person that murdered Gianni Versace. There was American Psycho, so the person who played American Psycho. There was a movie about a man, not a man, a boy. It's called We Need to Talk About Kevin or something like that. What they all have in common is that these were all people who were very much into their looks. If you recall what they looked like, their looks, their status, all that was very important to them. Money, things like that were very important to them. They all were, I wouldn't say serial unalivers, but they did to varying degrees have unaliving tendencies, and committed those acts. They were very much into, like, they're very meticulous. It's like if I'm wearing a white shirt and I have a little white, uh, little piece of lint on my clothes, like I'm noticing it and I'm just going to be irritated until I get it off. I saw the video where he overdosed, and then the very next day, again, this is all from somebody's YouTube channel. The very next day, he was back online saying that he doesn't think he can stop doing all the drugs that he's doing because he has some kind of social anxiety, which again all leads back to some kind of, excuse me, which all leads back to, again, some kind of, mental health, I feel, issue, obviously. Insecurities, I don't know the psychological terms. I can't even let it come to me right now. I'm just like, honestly, forgive me. This is not the me. This is the me struggling through these symptoms and these attacks. So yeah, I was not believing that he did this bone smashing thing. Apparently he does. He literally hits his face with a hammer. There was a doctor, one of those online, I am a doctor in real life, but I just give my 2 cents online so I can get some extra money kind of doctors that said that, yeah, this kid, he does bone smashing. There is a technique to it. Losing my voice as well. There is a technique to it. It just basically, it's almost like tearing muscles where they regrow. And, but it has to be done, I think, strategically. And I think that the doctor had said that that's not the way you're supposed to do it. And it's not really the proper way to go about having any sort of, I guess, bone chiseling or anything type of reconstruction. You're not supposed to do that to yourself. I understand that his mom used to have to hide hammers from him. He actually hid from his family in his room for a period of time. I don't know if it was a couple of days or like a week. I think he actually hid in the washroom in the room in his own bedroom. He doesn't seem to be very close to his family. As far as I know, his mother was a bodybuilder. She took steroids. She'd have to hide steroids and hide hammers from him. There was some incident where his father flew out to Vegas or wherever he was, where he was opening a club, and was not able to get in contact with his son. I guess the son didn't want to see him. I was getting weird vibes about that too. I don't remember the exact story. Maybe I'll fill in the blanks at another time when I'm able to, again, ground this energy, or if it's something I really don't want to revisit this, but there's a few others that are kind of around this type of topic that I have to just get out of the way. Yeah, he didn't want to see his father. So he wasn't able to help him and try to convince him to stop what he was doing. He said that, again, after the day after overdosing on camera, he said, and having seizures and stuff, he said he doesn't think he can stop because of the social anxiety. He doesn't think he'll be able to continue with his career. Immediately what I was getting when I looked at him, I just felt like uncomfortable. There's a picture of him that I'm going to insert probably as the cover or the thumbnail. It's him with blood on his face. I don't know what it's from, but that's not the picture I saw. Just him alone. Immediately it translated into my brain. I was like, oh my gosh, he's an unaliver person. I got the idea that he is someone who could go to that point where, I don't know how many years ago it was when I was younger, where they had a rash of these mass things that were happening at schools, mass unalivings at schools. He gives me that type of vibe that he's capable of that, whether it be in that capacity, but likely I'm getting towards his family. This is all alleged for entertainment purposes only. I have 2 decks that I'm going to be using to draw some cards. One is the True Crime Oracle deck. Another one is one that I created from, I can't remember his name, Travis McHenry. He does angel decks. He does the occult decks. He has a deck that has kind of like a good and evil angel, fallen angel, and there are the fallen angel messages that I took and I created my own little deck with it just because the messages were very powerful and it's helpful for me to channel. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle these cards and I'm going to go ahead with the reading. And again, off camera, I'm hoping to get back on camera soon. I've just been lacking sleep. I've just been having so many things going on. And if you've listened to any of my previous videos, you know that if you're hearing me now, this is not me. This is not how I normally react and behave, but I'm just overwhelmed right now. So on to the reading. Okay, so again, I'm hoping that the audio is well enough to be captured. I've shuffled the cards and we're going to see what we have here. So this is in reference to the gentleman that goes by Clavicular. I didn't mention that he's a streamer. I have never watched any of his streams. I've only seen little clips and things about him online and recently started hearing other content creators mentioning his name. So let's see what the spirit that's connected to me that has been harassing me for the past, I don't know how many weeks now to do this reading, what they want to share about Clavicular. So I'm first starting with the fallen angels. What messages do you have? So I have infamy. Any other messages, please? I have making mistakes and I have luxury. Any other messages? I have ingratitude, lack of appreciation, or being ungrateful. And I just had a fly by. I've had that referenced in the past as being a monitoring spirit. I don't know if that's relevant, but that could have something to do with it. I have war and violence. Any other messages from this deck, please? War and strife, so more war. I have rebellion, and there's something stuck to it here, rage. Any other messages? Is that one? Ambition. Malevolent behavior. I don't know if that was one. Let me start again here. Any other messages from this deck? It's getting a little chaotic. One second. Let me just pause and try and calm the energy. Okay, I'm back. I just had to say a little prayer of protection because this energy is just starting to actually get disruptive itself. So let's see. Any other messages from... I have traitors and conspiracies, disability and immorality. I don't know if we're going for the whole deck here. That's happened to me before as a joke. Lust and weak will, and falsehood. All right, so going back over them again, I have infamy, making mistakes, luxury, ingratitude, war and violence, war and strife, rebellion, rage, ambition, malevolent behavior, traitors and conspiracies, disability, immorality, lust and weak will, and falsehood. I'm just arranging the cards and we're going to grab some... Actually, let me stop here for a second and see if I'm picking up any messages. Okay, so as I'm looking at infamy, what I'm getting is a need for popularity. Making mistakes, it seems like it's coming across pretty obvious. Bear in mind, I didn't do any meditation or any grounding before doing this reading, so I'm doing the best that I can with this. I guess, not I guess, but I'm just interpreting making mistakes as being that whatever he's doing is obviously not for the best of his own, well-being. Luxury. I find that, yeah, just like what I described, I feel like he's just living a lifestyle that I feel is covering his true nature and his true feelings. The ingratitude, the lack of appreciation, I'm not really understanding what that is. To my spirit guides, if you can kindly clarify, and whatever malevolent spirit is connecting to me or trying to get me to do this reading, please block it. And I also ask that you give me clarification. I have war and violence and war and strife. This again is just automatically seeming like it's relating to what I was mentioning before, which was having to do with his anger and his built up frustration. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know his background or his family's background or anything. I think there was a psychological evaluation on him that was done. So I don't know if maybe there's some sort of diagnosis that may come from it, or that was included in it. I didn't watch that video. Rebellion, that could be related to him turning against his family. There's obviously rage. It could be roid rage. Not literal roid rage, but just in terms of the medications and the over-medicating and mixing all kinds of uppers and downers and all kinds of things together. He could do that. I saw a little video clip of him kicking someone out of a Sprinter van because of something they said or didn't acknowledge or something along those lines. So he seems very, just very trigger happy, so to speak. Ambition. I'm getting from ambition that he definitely, it's mind over matter. Whatever he sees, whatever he wants to achieve, whatever he wants to accomplish, I will smash myself in the face and experience that pain just so that I can get to where I want to be. Malevolent behavior. I guess that was already described by everything that I said. He's not really acting in any sort of, I'm thinking of the word in French for some reason. I'm trying to think of what it is in English. He's just not conducting himself well. For whatever reason. I think that he feels like he's better than other people, and he kind of has portrayed that in the clips that I've seen. Traitors and conspiracies. I'm not sure the meaning for that. So we're looking at ingratitude and traitors and conspiracies. I don't know what that is. Disability and immorality. Definitely the disability. What I'm getting from that is obviously he could definitely hurt himself to a point that it's not going to be reversible. And immorality, obviously the things that he's doing are very immoral. I don't know if there's something going on behind the scenes that might be more immoral. That's followed by lust and weak will. So there's another gentleman that does Looksmaxxing that I can't remember his name. I'll insert it when I get the opportunity, when I go back and edit. That was caught by his girlfriend looking at underage material online and paying for it. And the idea that, excuse me, the idea that I was getting, they say that whenever your voice tries to clog up, not clog up, but when you start losing your voice, that something's trying to shut you up, which is ironic if I've been harassed to do this message. So forces working against me and against it. So the lust and weak will could be related to that gentleman that his girlfriend found inappropriate material for children that were as young as toddlers. And I actually had to look up what a toddler was, and I found that toddlers 1 to 3 years of age. So the projection that I was getting from my whatever spirits were connected to me about that was that kind of birds of a feather. He's also someone who's into Looksmaxxing. I have to find his name. That he was, so they're kind of suggesting that he might be of the same cut from the same cloth. And falsehoods, or falsehood. There might be some kind of fraudulent behavior that's going on. I don't know if he does anything, like if there's any scheming or scamming that he does. He might be portraying himself. Now I'm getting like from the other individual that they might be portraying, or just as a group, these people that do these types of things, they might be portraying themselves, or they might be like maybe an underground ring of things that they're doing or things that they're connected to. Because if you're going to go that far, I think that maybe you might have some developmental issues that might have you gravitating towards these types of inappropriate behaviors. We're at 16 minutes now, so let me see what I have for the True Crime Oracle deck. Let's see what messages we have. What messages do you have, please? And again, I ask for protection from my spirit guides, my guardian angels, and also from God. I have the Death card. This is an Oracle deck again. I'm getting death. Any other messages, please? I'm getting family. Any other messages? I'm getting meeting. Already I'm just kind of anticipating that the death in the family might have something to do with what I was, kind of gathering from the beginning, that he could potentially, again, alleged and for entertainment purposes only, unalive his family or get to that point of rage where he could lose his temper and attack his family.
Actually,
you run this guy over here.
oh my
Start driving with this guy in the car. Drive.
Help. Oh my fuck. Oh my god! You probably just ran him over, Claire. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Off the car. He was on the car.
Oh my god.
Is he dead?
No.
I don't know.
Hopefully.
I have meeting and tunnel. Any meeting in a tunnel? Trapped. I don't know where this is going now. Meeting, tunnel, and trapped. Yeah, it's still kind of giving me some kind of underground, like dark web kind of situation where maybe people might be held against their will, and these are the types of I guess content that they might be watching. I think even the date that he was on, the person might have been younger than him, if I'm not mistaken. I'm talking about Clavicular. I'll have to double check that information as well. And again, alleged for entertainment purposes only. I haven't done a lot of research on this individual. It's not my cup of tea to do these types of readings. I have cult, which could be relating to, again, the birds of a feather, and I have travel. So there might even be some, yeah, maybe in relation to the underground activities. I have homicide. Any other messages? And I have landfill. Sorry, the recording cut out. So I had homicide and landfill. So what I was getting from that, so again, cult, travel, homicide, landfill. I feel like, let's just say, for example, if we go with this narrative that I'm seeming to pull together here, that if there is something that's connected to the dark web that they're connecting to, that there could be people like, because I don't even know where to begin with this if I have enough time to explain this. There was a gentleman that I made, I don't even know how to say this, made company with, or that I met, that through a workplace many years ago, and it was like my first job, and he was someone who had suffered abuse, and he at that point was telling me that he had no respect for humans, only animals, and he didn't trust humans. He watched a lot of these dark, disturbing movies, like what is it called, House of a Thousand Corpses by Rob, what is his name, I can't remember the guy that the music person that did that movie, but anyway, he said that he watched stuff watch things on the dark web that had to do with human experiments and things of that nature. So I'm just kind of thinking back to that, because with the cult, travel, homicide, landfill, it's giving me that same type of vibe, dark web type stuff, where, you know, these people disappear. They say children disappear every year, they can't be found. They may end up in not necessarily a landfill, but just somewhere where you can't find them. Any other messages in regards to clavicular, mountains? That was kind of random. I don't know what that's about. And imprisonment, mountains. I don't know the meaning of mountains. Okay, so let me pause and see if I can get some clarification. I have intuition at the bottom of the deck as I stop there, and I have abuse and neglect at the top of the deck. So I also didn't get clarification on the ingratitude and the I think it was traitors and conspiracies. So I'm just going to get a tarot deck and see if I can get any more clarification. Okay, so I'm just using the magical tarot deck, just for a regular tarot deck, just for clarification. So we're trying to clarify the ingratitude. I think we did a little bit of that. I can't even remember. I'm just going off of just momentum right now to just get this done. And mountains, which was confusing to me. I didn't really quite understand that. So let's see. Is there any clarification for ingratitude, lack of appreciation? I have the 10 of Swords for ingratitude. I feel like it's going to backfire on him. I don't know who the ingratitude is. Can you clarify who the ingratitude is for, or from, or what it's about? Okay, so I had 2 cards fall out. I have the King of Wands, and I have the the 5 of Cups. Let me see what I'm getting here. So with the King of Wands, I feel like I'm getting, again, the charismatic, you know, putting on that sort of front. At least that's, I think, what he wants people to see him as. Whereas maybe the reality is that he is not feeling good about himself. He's not seeing the benefits or the beauty of himself or what he has to offer, thinking that he can only do content in one way, which is inebriated, under the influence, damn near death. And it's going to backfire on him. It's not going to end well for him. That's just what I'm getting up. That's what I'm getting, allegedly, and for entertainment purposes only. Let's see what we get for traitors and conspiracies. What's the traitors and conspiracies, please? I have 10 of Pentacles, family. So with this card, I don't usually get this message. I haven't gotten in a long time. It's generational wealth, foundation, stability, traitors and conspiracy. He might feel like his family is going against him, or he might be going against his family, is what I'm getting here. I'm curious about the mountains, because that just seems very random. I'm not getting anything from even the imagery. Mountains, they're trying to point me back to the Fallen Angel deck. But I got the 6 of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles. That's still not helping me here. I don't know if that was an accident. They keep referring to the cult as well. So what about the mountains? Does the cult live in the mountains, or what is it? I have a Page of Pentacles. I think something's just happening out of sight. Out of sight. There might not be any cellular service. There might not be something, and then it's next to the tunnel. So there might not be any, yeah. And then with the Six of Pentacles, I'm kind of getting an exchange of funds where it's like someone's giving, yeah, I'm actually getting almost like a vision of someone who is with that movie, what's it called? Spirit guides, please help. What is the name of the movie? It's the Denzel Washington movie. What is the name of the movie, please? I can't get the name of the movie, and something's blocking it. It's the movie where Denzel Washington was playing a bodyguard for a young child. And I'm getting kind of like someone being trapped in, you know, some kind of dark underground kind of situation, and they're just being fed breadcrumbs to stay alive, and there might be pictures of them and different things that are circulating, but there might not be any cellular service, which is what was happening in that particular movie, that they would lose service and connection and things like that. So it could be that. With the Page of Pentacles, yeah, I'm getting that for whatever reason that they could be circulating this information maybe in small bits and not like large files and large drives of like, you know, hours and hours of footage. It could just be like pictures or little, you know, clips of videos. I'm being guided to go back to the Fallen Angel deck, and we'll see if there's any other messages. We're at 25 minutes. What other messages, please, Fallen Angels? I have Treason and Revolt and Unrestrained Living. So treason and revolt, treason is turning against your own, I'm getting, and revolting, yeah. So maybe there might be someone amongst the cult or amongst the group that might change their ways and might give up the information as to where they're getting this information from about these underage activity videos, pictures that are circulating. Unrestrained living, again, that's giving me that someone is just operating without any regard for consequences. And they just bent one of my cards. Malevolent behavior is what's coming out as well. That came out earlier, so it's just kind of going back to that idea. So I think that's it. At the bottom of the card, we have relationship strife, and at the top of the deck, bottom of the deck for the Fallen Angels, and at the top of the deck, cowardly actions. So we'll see what this means when I put it together later. Forgive me if I don't have a lot of editing and different things going on. As I mentioned, this has been a very difficult struggle for me. So please bear with me, and I will be back hopefully to sitting down, doing some more concentrated, focused videos. And thank you again for tuning in to this reading about Clavicular, the streamer. It's a cheat code.